All right, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of Stirring the Potkast. I am your host, Bobo, and this is my good friend, Dylan. We also play in a band together, even though we're like on a hiatus kind of thing, but we're open to playing shows still. We play a Blink-182 tribute band called Aliens Do Exist, and we've played several shows, and we always get a good reception. How are you, man?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing good. I've been doing this podcast and having a good time doing it. I just got this green screen set up behind us, and as you can see, there's a cool brick wall. So we're like actually like sitting behind like some school in Chicago. Sound good?
That's where I like to chill. It's always been a dream to hang out behind the school in Chicago, like one of the cool kids.
Fuck it. That's where we are. We're at Jay and Silent Bob's hideout. Oh, they were in New Jersey, huh?
Yeah, close enough. And they're in front of a store.
Yeah.
Either way.
Same shit, different day. Anyway. What you been up to, man?
Not much. Been busy with school, work. Started being in a new band called Shapeshifterz.
The Shapeshifterz?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been digging that. It's been a lot of fun. Got a couple shows coming up. I think we got one in April 17th, and they also got like a YouTube page. So go
sure.
check that out. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. They're also on Spotify too. So
oh, nice. I'll fucking maybe I can put some post-production links up or something to some of your guys' stuff or whatever. You just have to get them to me and I can put them in. No problem.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So
the nice thing about post-production is you can pretty much do anything as long as it's not illegal. And even then you can still do it.
who's going to stop you, right?
The government.
The FCC won't let me be. Just let me be me.
You got to stop before 8 seconds.
I think that wasn't 8 seconds.
You're
I think
good.
We're
We're
good.
good. Oh, so Shapeshifters though, like what kind of music do you guys play?
There's some songs that are kind of like ska kind of things, like almost like Sublime-y.
Reggae-ish?
Yeah, and then there's
Sure.
other songs that are kind of more like heavier. And there's also like a DJ and a rapper involved too. So it's kind of its own thing. And we do sets like with the rapper's name's Quest. And then,
Quest?
Yep.
Okay.
And then we do sets with like without him too. So there's a pretty wide range of different kinds of music that we play. So it's pretty cool.
A little bit of something for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Like you'll find something in the catalog. They already got a good amount of songs. So
Do they have a disc or just like random recordings that they've recorded?
I think it's just things that they've recorded and
Sure.
put on like Spotify and
Sure.
YouTube and stuff like that.
Is there a disc in the works or anything like that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Tell the truth.
Sure.
So
Suppose you just joined the band, still kind of learning the ropes and stuff. You probably just kind of doing what they ask you first before you probably put too much input in on something like that, I suppose.
yeah, for the most part, I kind of just fell into it because my friend, Steve,
Yeah.
he told me that this group was looking for a bass player, and so I was like, screw it. Aliens hasn't been doing much, and
Yeah.
I wanted to play some music, so
Yeah.
learned some of their songs, did a show with them, and now we're even working on recording and writing some new stuff already. So it's going kind of fast, but it's cool.
Dude, when it starts moving like that though, like it's kind of nice when you're fortunate enough to get a good group of musicians together and stuff and start writing. It's fun. It's interesting. I was very, very fortunate in my instances of like SPKA and stuff like that, and like even back in the day, like when I played in All to Blame, like I've always had I've had good musicians to play with. So I mean, when you got good people to play with, it's magic.
Oh yeah,
Magic.
I still like some of those All to Blame songs. Like those are catchy.
I still listen to them quite often.
Like Say What You Mean and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I remember.
Dope ass riff.
It is.
Oh man. Well, that's cool though. So you've just been playing in the Shapeshifters. You said you're doing school and stuff. I forget exactly what your major is. I know it has something to do with behavioral health and counseling, right?
Yeah. So my major is actually going to be in social work.
Okay.
But like my end goal would be like therapy, that kind of stuff, like mental health, substance use, that kind of
Sure. Okay.
fun stuff.
It's going good though. You're learning a lot.
Yeah, I'm still doing like undergraduate stuff. So
Good grades.
yeah, for the most part. I get lazy, but I'm able to pick it up usually, so that kind of helps.
That's all right. As
But-
long as you know the material, it's okay. It's all about the test.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I mean, like I've been in mental health for like 4 years now. And so I'm still learning stuff that I've learned with experience. So
Sure.
it's just getting that stuff done.
Fair enough. Nothing wrong with that though. The cool thing about that is you can help people though, you know?
That's the goal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I dig it. Work's been good and school's been good. I got engaged. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. You recently got engaged. How's that going?
It's good. We're planning a wedding. We're gonna go to Jamaica on
Oh, really? Very
for the
cool.
wedding.
Very cool.
We're gonna get married right down by the beach.
Oh, cool. So just more like a small thing. Nothing. You're not gonna have like a big thing here or something.
We're gonna do probably like a reception thing here
Okay.
afterwards. But hey, y'all, if anybody wants to go to Jamaica, hit me up. You have to pay for yourself.
It's expensive. Maybe not. Those airlines, man, they're hard up for money. You can get a ticket to Vegas for like, I thought someone was telling me the other day, like they found one for $27 or something.
That's a deal.
I was like, that's a lot. That's like the cheapest I've ever heard of any plane ride. I know one way, but I mean, $27. That's like a tank of gas.
That's like $54 round trip.
It's nothing. Deal. It's nothing. You driving that Hummer? It's half a tank right there.
If that.
Nothing wrong with getting a Hummer. Remember that young Hummer dude?
No.
That he's like that. He had those rap songs. It was like, "How do you like your eggs, girl? Fried or fertilized?" Oh, okay. And then the Smang It song or whatever.
Smash it and bang.
Smash it and bang it. For real.
Let me sling it, girl. Okay, I know. I didn't know his name was Young Hummer.
I think it was Young Hummer. No one would know for sure, but Young Hummer was definitely in one of those videos if he wasn't the rapper.
I'll have to do some looking into Young Hummer. As long as it doesn't cost me $54 for half a tank of gas.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you watch the All-Star game?
Oh, I didn't. I just caught the highlights and just doing other stuff.
Oh, sure.
That 3-point contest, though, that was where it was at.
That was crazy. Because that's right at the end, like Mike Conley hit 27, and then Steph like missed like his first 5 shots, and he came back and won by 1 point
with the last bucket. Yeah, big NBA fan. Like you are. You're a Lakers guy. I'm an OKC guy.
Yeah, but two very respectable teams.
Yeah, yours is.
At least you're not the Timberwolves
or the Knicks.
The Knicks are like the 4th seed in the East right now. How crazy is that?
True, but they get shit on a lot. At least OKC, it's a small enough market where people.
Julius Randle's been ripping it up. Holy shit. Shea's been ripping it up in OKC. What do you have, like 2 or 3 games in a row with 30 points?
He had like 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He learned a lot from Chris Paul last year. You could tell, like, everyone's always like, Chris Paul is the problem everywhere, but what up?
Chris Paul is a real motherfucking G.
Who was that? No.
It's a ghost, man.
The ghost of Chris Paul's fan.
The ghost of Chris Paul past.
Cliff Paul.
Oh, man. That's funny to me. Oh, yeah. I love the NBA, though. Like, there's a lot of people who don't like basketball, but that's okay with me. If you don't like it, move along.
I mean, I get their beef with like the regular season because players don't try as hard in the regular season, but the playoffs, that's where it's at.
Yeah, man, I watch quite a bit of the regular season, like overall. I watch any team just because I like basketball more than football. But like when it comes time for the playoffs, I'll pretty much watch every series.
Exactly.
Like football, I just want to watch my Vikings games. I don't really care about most of the other teams. Not that I don't watch any other football games, because there's definitely games that are worth watching. But for the most part, when it comes to football, I'm just trying to watch my Vikings, and that's it.
I feel that. And I mean, it's different then, too, because all the teams play at the same time.
Right.
So you don't have that option, really.
Hopefully we trade Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, we'll see. Who's better out there, like, for real?
Cam Newton.
Oh, God.
He's got a chip on his shoulder this year to come back, you know what I mean? Like,
he had a chip on his shoulder last year because
then he got COVID and shit, and like he just didn't come back from it like very good. So like if he doesn't do something this year, then it's definitely like curtains for his career. Yeah, apparently I was watching this video the other day where he had this football camp or whatever, and some kid went to his camp, and he was there at Cam Newton's camp, but then he started calling Cam Newton what did he say? Said something about how you ain't nothing or you're trash and all that stuff. And he was like, I'm rich. He's like, I got all kinds of money. And so I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, Cam Newton's still better than quite a few of the quarterbacks in the NFL.
I'll give you that.
He's not Russell Wilson, obviously, or Aaron Rodgers. Definitely not. But I mean, like, he's definitely better than Brady Quinn. whether he's retired or not.
He ain't even playing no more. So he's definitely better than Brady.
Oh yeah.
He's better than Ryan Leaf.
Ryan Leaf. Oh man, it's a sad situation right there. He started stealing Vicodin from people.
That'll do it.
But now he's like, he went to prison and cleaned up his life, and now he's like an analyst or something on ESPN or something. One of those fucking networks. They'll buy up anybody these days.
Yeah. Good for him. You can always come back from that.
Yeah.
Take some work, but
Yeah.
you can always come back.
You might not be giving your starting job back in the NFL, but you can still hang around.
Yeah, you're not gonna have the same path you're going on, but I mean you can still have a path that's not so bad.
Right. Still making more than a lot of people are probably making in most jobs, you know.
For real. Like
Mhm.
Any of those sports gigs, I
For
think
real.
would be pretty good.
Oh yeah, I'd be the fucking mascot for any of those NBA teams. I don't care. That'd probably be, if it's not 6 figures a year, it'd at least be like a high 5-figure salary.
Being a mascot?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
If you were like the Philadelphia Fanatic or whatever they call him, is that what it is?
Something like that, yeah. But I mean, what do you do? It's like, I want to raise. What are you gonna do? Replace me? It's like, yeah, we own the suit. That's all we need.
I suppose it's all dependent about how good of a job you do.
Yeah.
If you nail it, you nail her in a trailer.
Well, I mean, think about like that Rangor, the Vikings mascot. Like he was some dude, and he's like, "Hey, I want a little bit more money," and they're like, "Peace."
Oh,
and that was
yeah.
actually a guy.
I do remember that. I remember that. And then, God, the Packers had him in some fucking commercial or something after that, I think.
Sell out.
It's like, fuck, they shit on him and he fucking went to the other team.
He pulled a Brett Favre.
Man, Brett Favre, I feel like he's like one of those next people that is just gonna start saying the weirdest shit. Like he's already saying some weird shit, you know, like he's like, nothing against like conservatives or whatever, you know, like you can have your own beliefs and shit, but like some of the shit he was saying, like when he's telling these guys to just be quiet and like throw the football and stuff because they're making all this money, he's like, I could see that viewpoint, but if you have the opportunity to do better, why not? If you can make some good change in the world, why not? You know, it's your money. Do what you want with it. No one else should tell you anything. Like everyone's like, oh, those players shouldn't be getting that kind of money either. And it's like certain players bring billions of dollars to markets.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like there's generational talents across sports. You know what I mean? Like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson back in the day. You know, I mean, there's a bunch of people that make dynamic franchises, you know, and bring lots of money there. And so that's where like that money comes in.
Yeah,
and,
for real.
But then you got some of your people sitting at home, you know, that they're sitting there on their couch, like hitting their wife or something, and they're like, them damn players, they shouldn't be making that money.
America.
I'm over here drinking a 6-pack of PBR, hitting my wife.
Well, that's one of those things where it's like, blame capitalism for that, because they have a product that people want, that people buy. They spend money going to games and to watch the games and all that kind of stuff. So of course they're going to make a lot of money. So then they give that back to the business, the players, the people that make that money. So, I mean, it's the capitalism that makes them pay so much. So that's the backbone of America. So
people like it when it's convenient for them. But then like when they see somebody else getting something that they don't think they should have, they'll fucking talk shit about it.
Right. It's hypocritical, like all the way around. Like, I work 80 hours a week and I don't make near as much. Well, you picked the wrong career.
Right. I'm sorry you made a poor life decision.
And you weren't blessed to be 6'8" and 240 pounds and have a 70-inch vertical.
No shit. Everyone thinks that they could all do all these things all the time. And it's like, well, then why aren't you doing it?
Right. Go play basketball. See how easy it is.
I tell you, it's not easy. It's a hell of a lot of fun. But my feet are fucked now.
God, I played basketball the other day for like 2 hours, and I got home, and then I went up the stairs to go upstairs, and I was using the rail to I'm like, God, I'm old as hell now. I'm only 30. My body's feeling it, man. It's breaking down.
Oh man, I'm only 32, but my feet feel like they're 50. They're like, every time I step down, they're like, fuck you. I mean, obviously I could definitely lose a little weight, but I mean, it's that time of year where I'm going to start losing weight anyway. I always put on some over the cold times, you know, and then comes right back off towards the summer.
I thought your feet smelled like Country Kitchen buffet.
Some biscuits and gravy. While I beat my wife. That's just my typical redneck voice. I'm sorry.
That's your go-to. You
Remember-
might be a redneck if you beat your wife. Or just a shitty person.
Oh my god. As long as you told her more than twice. I'm just kidding. That's never okay.
Ugh.
We just got canceled.
Oh, you got canceled.
We just got me too.
Cancel culture, full strength.
Oh, it's bad. It's real bad.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I know that there's like, I don't believe in censorship of anything because I think it's a slippery slope, and it's like when you start censoring certain things, where are you going to draw the line? The Constitution specifically protects hate speech and things like that are like, yeah, you don't have to like them, but I'm still not gonna fight against people to say those things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna be, if you want to run around being a Nazi or something like that, I'm not gonna be your friend. But
Right.
like,
I agree with you on that too, though. But it's not even like it's federally regulated anymore. It's like these individual companies and corporations are like, we don't want to look bad, so we're going to cancel it ourselves.
Oh yeah,
just for like PR moves, and it's kind of getting out of hand in some points.
I just want people to do the right thing because it's the right thing, not because they think they're gonna lose money if they don't do something that they don't believe in.
But how do you know if it's the right thing if money's not involved? No.
Don't get me wrong, I fucking love money, but like seriously, like some of this shit is just getting crazy. Like the censorship of comedians and just differing opposing viewpoints and stuff, and pretty soon no one's going to be able to argue or have like uncomfortable conversations at all. It's like people are already kind of marginalized into the internet, you know what I mean? And it gets to the point where everyone's just, you got two people on the internet back and forth, you know, just like one thing, and they're never going to agree on, but they're going to sit there and pick at each other, you know. But if you get two people in a room, you might find that they have a lot more that they agree on instead. So I think social media specifically like kind of picks at people. It kind of picks on their worst qualities, like the algorithm, if you will.
Yeah, it shows them what they want to see, and then also, like you said, in those comment like combats that you see all the time, it's like, oh, well, you spelled this wrong, so your point's invalid. Or it's like, oh, you're an idiot. It's like, so you know this person won. But like if they're in a room, that kind of stuff wouldn't be happening. They'd be kind of more understanding of each other, and or they'd be coming to blows. Either one depends on the person. I'm
not saying I've never gotten into a few like spats and stuff, you know, like text conversations and stuff over like Facebook and stuff, but I try not to hold a grudge against anybody at the end of the day, you know, because I realize that things can be blown up and blown out of proportion on the internet. But I don't know, there's definitely things that you can say what you want, but people don't have to like you.
Agree.
Like,
and that's just normal.
So like that's the other side of like the cancel culture. You got all these like people on the conservative side that they're saying they're getting canceled for their values, and it's like, no, you're getting canceled because you're a piece of shit. I mean, you just don't want to be held accountable for the things that you have done, and like you just think it's okay, but you get to lie and just turn it around and say that wasn't what you were doing and that you were doing it for this reason and stuff. And it's like, as long as you never admit it in public, no one will ever be able to prove that you're lying. I mean, it just gets ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. On the same side, there's a lot of conservatives that are being unfairly censored, but that shit happens to anyone across any demographic can have that shit happen to them. People get canceled all the time, and it's just getting ridiculous.
I agree. Like that chick from The Mandalorian got canceled because she was bashing on Republicans. It's like,
no, she was a Republican.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, she posted something about. She said that she equated the persecution of Republicans right now to the same thing that the Jews went through in the Holocaust.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Yeah. Those are
Her
two
character
pretty
wasn't
different
that good
things.
anyways, so.
Cara Dune was pretty dope. I'd be interested to see what they do with that series moving forward. It's gonna be good. Pedro Pascal's still in it, so it's got to be good.
Right. As long as he's in it, that's all they really need. They can always introduce other characters and cool people.
But I still think the name Grogu is kind of weird.
Yeah. I was hoping more for Jeff.
I was like hoping that his name would be like Noda.
Noda?
Like he's not Yoda.
Noda. Not Yoda, am I?
Oh man. But yeah, no, then they had those previews for the Book of Boba Fett. That looked pretty good.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'm pretty excited for the future of Star Wars right now.
I was pretty stoked that they brought Boba Fett back. I mean, wearing Boba Fett t-shirt.
Oh, Boba Fett. You got cool armor. I'm okay.
I'm just happy they brought him back because now I actually have a reason to like him besides just like 10 minutes of footage from episode 5 and 6.
From the 80s.
And then he goes out like a bitch when he gets hit by a blind Han Solo.
Ugh.
And it's like, why do you like Boba Fett? It's like, I don't even fucking know why I like him.
He looks cool.
He looks cool. You seen that armor, man? It's awesome.
He's got a red lightsaber. He's got a blue lightsaber.
Purple Ray. I forgot about that.
I
Robot
actually
Chicken,
just
check it
watched
out.
the first episode of Robot Chicken Star Wars the other day because we got HBO Max and Robot Chicken's on there.
Oh, I forget about that. I need to check that out.
And I watched that fucking pandemic special of South Park.
Is that on like
It's
HBO
on,
now?
Yeah. It was so fucked up.
Tomorrow they're coming out with a special for vaccines.
Oh, the vaccination special.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
I want to check that out. South Park's got a pretty good gauge on what's going on.
Sure. I like South Park because they just give it to everybody. They don't care. They'll just give shit to everybody.
Equal opportunity haters.
Spread
I'm
it.
telling
Spread them cheeks, you know. Dive right in. Dive on in.
you.
No, but seriously, fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
Fucking Starship Troopers.
I dig Starship. I don't care what anybody says. That movie's cheesy as hell.
Fuck
but
yeah.
I
We
dig
go.
it. And it's just a big propaganda move. Like it just shows how much their government's manipulating them to. I got on a freaking Facebook hole the other day reading about like different fan theories from Starship Troopers. And they're like, yeah, the Federation caused the asteroid to hit the Earth to boost their numbers. It's like the bugs are the real victim. And I'm like, shit, putting it this way makes sense. Like they have a bunch of evidence to like put behind their claims. And it's like, okay, yeah, the people are the bad ones.
Well, it's kind of like in the Marvel universe, like logically, Thanos was correct.
He has a point.
I'm not saying that I agreed with him, but logically, he was
Right.
correct.
If you take emotion out of it, which is impossible, but
You watched WandaVision?
yeah, actually, I wasn't expecting that. To be
I'm
anything.
on. Let's see. I'm on like I think I just watched the fifth or sixth episode, and it is getting fucking weird.
Yeah, there's a point where it really starts to ramp up, and it catches your interest. But then,
First 2 episodes, I was like, "What the? What is this
Right?
piece of shit that I'm watching?" And then the third episode, like towards the end of the second episode, I was intrigued, and then that third episode, it really kind of brought it around, and I was hooked.
yep, exactly. Because yeah, when it's just like, hey, it's the 50s, ho ho ho, that's the 50s. Hey. Yeah, that was kind of old, fast.
And it's got the chick that played in Parks and Rec. She was what was she? She was the
Which
campaign.
Oh,
Runner
yeah.
chick or
She's
whatever?
also the mom from Step Brothers, the
Oh, yeah.
one that hooks up with Dale. I hate my life. She's funny. I think she's good.
Something's happening.
So slippery.
Is it true that you punched Derek in the face?
You should put a counter in the bottom of this podcast of how many references do they make going through.
It's
like
the
that
fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's like that episode of South Park where they say
Shit.
There's another one. Tick it up.
Mierda. Spanish for shit.
Ugh.
Lots of bad words. But I like bad words. They molded me into the person I am today. America. Fuck
There's-
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Breaking the rule to stay the motherfucking day, yeah.
McDonald's.
Fuck yeah.
That's another movie that's crazy. I saw that in theaters when I was like 12. I should not have seen that movie in theaters.
Matt Damon. Oh, we just got sued again.
Did we talk about South Park for more than 8 seconds?
No, Matt Damon.
Oh, Matt Damon. How about them apples?
Oh, I got together with Harley this weekend in Forest, and we jammed like some SPK stuff we were working on.
Nice. So what's going on with SBK? You guys still?
It's more like we're still making music and recording and stuff, but we might not play shows again. We might play a couple shows this summer if it works out, but I mean, I'm not really trying to play anything indoors. I better safe than sorry for me with heart problems and stuff. I don't really go a whole lot of places with Corona and stuff, and like now that the vaccine's coming out, I'm not promoting anti-vax or anything. I think that anybody should make any medical decision they have themselves with their doctor.
Yeah.
So like, I'm definitely gonna bide my time for a little bit and see if there's any like major problems that come out for people with heart problems. I mean, that might be something good to pay attention to. Like something that was. I know you got everyone saying that it's like safe and stuff, but I mean, I'm just gonna be. It's better safe than sorry. Like I don't really like to go that many places anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it winds up coming back and then there's wind up not being problems, you know, like long term and stuff, I'll definitely probably get it at that point.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because people are kind of worried about this unknown side effects that could go along with it.
Oh yeah.
It's like I did get the vaccine and there was kind of an unknown side effect that happened to me that not many people know of. My dick grew 3 inches. So yeah, just talk to your doctor first before you go to that. You never know what could happen. Oh, that's funny to me. No, for real though. I did get the vaccine and I mean I felt a little crummy for 6-7 hours.
Sure.
But no issues yet.
Well, that's good. You know what I mean?
Like working in healthcare, we were able to get like the first like round of it.
Right.
So that was kind of nice.
Well, I had just found out like this week that I could find that I'm in that next category of people that can get it because of like pre-existing conditions and stuff like that. But I mean, this one specific kind of vaccine was developed really quick. And like when I looked into like mRNA vaccines and stuff like that, the science is not necessarily sound on all those. Like most of them, if not, I think this is the first one that's ever actually made it to fruition, if I understood right. I could be wrong, so I mean YouTube might censor that. Anyway, but I don't necessarily buy into like the reprogramming of like DNA and stuff like that. I mean, I would never rule something like that out, but I until I saw proof, I would never spew that kind of a theory.
I think some of the things people say, it's like, oh, they're putting a chip in you so they can track you. I'm like, you got a phone, right?
Right. Edward Snowden's was even like everyone's got a phone. You've already got the tracker.
Right. We've willingly consented to this for how long?
For real.
But now we have an issue.
Yeah. It seems ridiculous that they would even need to do that. Like even like from the most like conspiracy like minded of things, like it could happen. You know what I mean? Especially with like if there was only like a few people at the top that knew about the actual fix and everyone else thought that they were just doing the good word, you know what I mean? I mean, that's how things like that have happened in the past, you know. The smaller the amount of people that know about like the deception, it's much easier to pass off. That's rule number one of deception.
Exactly.
Especially like
small.
Kind of like what I was saying earlier. Like if a conservative person was lying, like I'm not racist, it's like, well, just because you don't say it out loud, your actions prove otherwise. But I mean, that's your prerogative. That's your prerogative.
All right.
Yeah, man. What else you been up to?
Playing video games. I've been getting into Fall Guys. You can thank Nolan for that.
Oh yeah, that game's pretty cool. I played it over there a couple times.
It's just something about it, man. Makes me hate people.
I already don't really like a lot of people. I like people, but like there's a lot of shitty people out there, and I have been unfortunate enough to run into many of them. You know,
There's always going to be those, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's always that balance. Like, I don't know. I'm a big fan of, like, light versus dark, good versus evil.
absolutely.
And there's always going to be a balance of good and bad. So, I mean, just because there are shitty people out there doesn't mean there's not equally as good people.
Absolutely. I just find that most of the people that I run into are pretty shitty people. And I can't elaborate any further than that without getting in trouble. But yeah, you know, I prefer to not be a fake person, and I have a hard time dealing with those people. There's a lot of people will deal with those people and be nice to them and stuff, but I don't think they deserve my nice. You know what I mean? They don't deserve my negative energy either. They don't deserve any of my energy. And unfortunately, a lot of times they'll still get it. Sometimes they just find a way of sucking it out of you.
They just suck it out.
Not sucking it in a good way either. Sucking it. Just sucking it.
Even, I don't know, I'm a fan of, even with those people, give them positive energy. Doesn't hurt them. Doesn't hurt you.
Sure. I don't like to waste time and energy on anyone or anything is pretty much what it comes down to.
I follow that. Yeah.
And honestly, I never was like that until after I had my second heart attack. I just felt like you never know, like when you're gonna die. Like it could happen tomorrow or something. Like they told me, like after the second one, you know, I could have another one someday. Like it could be 6 months from now, it could be 20 years from now, it could never happen again or something like that. But like you never know, and that's something that I've really thought about ever since then. So like I'm not saying I go out and do a bunch of crazy things and like carpe diem all the time or whatever, but I definitely much more choosing of what I put my time and energy into.
Was that like 9 years ago that happened?
So
or was that the first one?
This would be 10 years and 10 years in,
it was in the fall,
September.
wasn't it?
They were actually exactly a year apart, like almost to the day. It was within like 2 days of being exactly a year apart.
I remember where I was at when I heard about that. I was working for my uncle and I was in his shop. I'm like, oh shit.
It was crazy, man. Crazy times. Got those stints in my heart now, and I don't know. I feel pretty good. I take the medication that I'm supposed to take and do things I'm supposed to do. Like maybe I don't eat as best as I probably should, but like I don't eat like I used to.
Yeah. Not eating a whole package of cream savers and
eating a package of dry pudding mix. Or what else? Eating an entire box of strawberry shortcake rolls.
There was some shit back in the day.
Drinking an entire 2-liter in like one sitting.
It's weird to think.
Can you still drink a whole can of soda like that?
Oh yeah, I still got that skill.
I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, man, Dylan used to be able to fucking suck them down.
I still can, but yeah, I don't know why. I just always been like, even with water, like I'll drink like that much. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good measurement right there, right? Milliliters in like one drink. I don't know. It's just something I do.
We use the fucking imperial system in America, okay?
Shit, I said liters. They're coming for me.
Oh, God.
Measure it with your feet, like a regular person.
And the extra 3 inches of your wiener.
Thank you.
It was already pretty big.
Pfeiffer.
I mean, you know, you see your feet.
It's almost a problem now. I was like, shit, we've known each other for how long now?
We met when I was like 5, and I think you were 4, because I was like, right? Because we're like,
was that then?
We're not quite 2 years apart.
Because you're the same age as my sister.
Yeah.
She's 2 years older than me.
Okay. Then, so
first I remember was at like the bus stop, like when I was in like 6th grade.
I just remember kindergarten, and we both went to Volunteers of America daycare.
Oh, for real?
Used to be okay. So it's a dollar store now there that's on that corner.
Yeah,
like
by Ace Hardware.
Yeah, it's crazy how much all that stuff has changed. Like I just was thinking about that the other day. Sioux Falls has like so many things and even things that have changed, and even some of those things have changed.
Where are we now? Is this the Twilight Zone?
Mind fuck. I mean, change is good sometimes, though.
I didn't even realize that we went to the same daycare.
What else? It's been a long time either way.
It's been a minute or two,
Yeah,
or years,
or 20
or
some
decades.
years. Oh man, that's funny to me. This the connections you make, like people that are still in your life, like all these years later. It's just weird.
It is weird. Like, there's probably only a few people that are still in my life that I've known from that far back. You know?
Right?
Yeah.
It's weird to think about though, but
I try not to. This shit drives me. I go crazy trying to analyze that shit.
Yeah, I think about too many things sometimes. But shit happens. That's life, you know.
Yeah. Do you think everything just like happens by chance? Like just randomness going on?
Is this like a religious question or just like
It's just a belief question. Like
so it's a philosophical question?
Exactly, yeah. Doesn't have to be religious.
Well, the reason I was asking that is because, like, if you don't believe it's random, then that would mean that if you don't believe it's random, it would mean it's predetermined. So that would logically mean you believe in fate of some sort. So obviously, some type of ethereal being, most likely,
Yeah,
is
some
controlling
kind
that.
of driving force or something.
Yeah,
like that.
but I mean, I don't know. I come from my family overall was pretty religious, but like my mom and dad were not really that religious, and I don't believe that it's predetermined. I think that maybe some things can be. So like, you know how fucking Flashpoint works in the Flash timeline?
Oh yeah, that's a dope ass cartoon, by the way.
I think like any of that kind of stuff could work. Like there could be multiple paths. It all depends on what you choose. Like even if like, and I don't think that necessarily means that there couldn't be like a higher power out there either, because like a lot of these people that believe in higher powers like believe in like all these magical things that can happen, but like they don't believe that he could do like things like science or physics,
right? Exactly.
or gravity. Like God made the whole universe, but there's no way he could ever make an equation like E equals MC squared be the rule of a fucking the galaxy or whatever. Like light couldn't travel, or like, you know, gravity and things like that, or the Coriolis effect, or like that's way out of his reach.
He can't handle that.
But like, I think that science and religion could go hand in hand with that. But I mean, like, it's possible that things are predetermined, but I don't think it is. Just a feeling that I have.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I do believe in like a higher power.
Yeah.
Like as far as like things just being completely random, I don't know if I believe in that. Think like fate being like destined, like we're supposed to do things with our life. I don't believe in that either.
Sure.
But I do believe there is some kind of guiding force, whether it be like energy that's like flowing through everybody or whatever it could be. That's what I see as like the higher power, is like the concept of energy and
Sure.
how it makes this piece of matter different from this piece of matter. Like this one has a spark that makes it think, makes it walk, makes it breathe, has cells that live and move, where a rock is just a fucking rock, you know. There's that difference. And then even when like people die, like
what happens?
That spark is gone, that energy is gone, and it's not them anymore.
Right.
And they start to break down into the cycle of things. So
well, conservation of matter, conservation of energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only converted from one form to another. You know what I mean? Like who's to say that God doesn't recycle people? You know what I mean?
Right.
Puts them back into the earth, those elements and stuff. You know what I mean? Keeps things moving around. Who knows?
For some reason that reminded me of like a George Carlin skit where he's like, okay, so he's like talking about poking holes in religions. Like, so start out with Adam and Eve. There's 2 souls. And then now we're at like 7 billion people. So there's someone up there just counterfeiting souls up there, just cranking them out. And I'm like, I guess, yeah, what happens? The bugs turn into people? I don't know. Reincarnation?
Fucking
I don't know.
Lizard people.
Oh, shit.
That would be pretty crazy if the lizard people theory was real, though.
Because then my favorite character from Mortal Kombat would be realistic reptile, you know.
Oh, sure. you see the previews for that Mortal Kombat movie?
Yeah, it looks dumb, but it looks dope. You know?
Yeah, badass, dude. The fighting and all the computer stuff that they did was pretty wild.
Which is what you're looking for in a Mortal Kombat movie. You're not looking for layers and depth and a bomb ass storyline. You want to see people ripping spines out.
I did hear that Johnny Cage is not in the movie though, and he is like one of the original fighters, so that's a little worrisome for me.
I wonder like how they're gonna do that.
Apparently
I'm sure
they replaced him with like apparently a brand new character that was not in anything or something. I don't know if that's exactly how it was, but that's what I had heard. You know what I mean? I didn't fact check that. So
did they replace him with Captain Falcon?
No, just Don Cheadle's.
He just replaces everybody. Yeah, like where did that come from? Don Cheadle looks like him. Like Don Cheadle doesn't look like anybody.
No, he just looks like himself.
He does.
There's a lot of people you could like doppelgangers and stuff. Like, was it Travis Kelce and Jonas Valanciunas?
Oh yeah, those two do look a lot alike.
What else? I think Arsenio Hall and Dwight Howard look very similar.
I could see it.
What else? Like,
there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. Those are just two quick ones off the top of my head. You know, like
there's only so many combinations of faces that can go around.
Yeah.
But fingerprints that doesn't repeat for some reason, which is weird. I was thinking about that on the way over here. I don't know, weird things.
Glitch in the Matrix.
Life is a simulation.
Red pill or blue pill?
I take the purple pill. That's both of them.
I had a seizure. Apparently, you're not supposed to do that.
Then you're in a coma. That's what happens.
Bad times.
So yeah, life is weird sometimes, you know.
Yeah. So you excited for the second half of the NBA season?
Yeah, my team's sucking. So I mean, it is what it is. It's always fun to watch it. I'm just excited to see how the playoffs shake out.
You think Damian Lillard is better than Steph Curry?
No.
Do you think it's close?
No, I don't.
How far away do you think it actually is then?
I'd say disclaimer, I hate Steph Curry. So don't think I'm on that boat at all. But I mean, Damian Lillard is really good. Like I'd say they're both like top 3 point guards in the NBA. But I'd say like Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, and then like other people.
Sure.
Like I would put Dame in like top 3, but I don't know.
Well,
like,
who's number 2?
Number 2 point guard in the NBA. Russell Westbrook. No, I'm kidding.
What? Like in his triple double season?
Okay, I'm a little biased towards Russell Westbrook. I do like him, but
I definitely like Russ. I'm worried about him because he keeps having these quad injuries the last couple of years. But I mean, I feel like we always all talked about this. Like he was so explosive that at some point there was going to be like a sharp downturn in his like ability to be durable.
Well, I mean, as far as like point guards go, like James Harden is like playing a point guard role right now.
Ridiculous. He might be a better point guard than Kyrie.
Yeah, I don't think he's a good point guard, but everyone hypes him up so much. Kyrie
has the best handles I've probably ever seen.
I'll give you that.
But there's a lot of other things he doesn't have.
Yeah.
There's a couple people that I think are really good. Like I really think Damian Lillard and Steph Curry are basically neck and neck. I think Steph Curry is the best shooter of all time, but I think like Dame's like right behind him. He's always hitting those fucking logo shots. Like,
and it's always in those clutch moments too, like that Dame time, like he says. Like he is probably the most clutch player this year.
Yeah.
Last year is like Chris Paul, which is weird, but this year
rejuvenating season.
Insert haunted Chris Paul fan again.
Didn't happen this time.
Oh, okay. He's at rest.
Yeah, man. Fuck, I'm excited for the second half because maybe Anthony Davis will be healthy.
Oh yeah, your Lakers still have a good shot.
Without Anthony Davis, though, like the shot is almost non-existent. I'm not saying that LeBron James couldn't pull something together with those guys, but
I think they could get out the West, but I don't think they could beat Brooklyn, which I think is coming out the East at this point.
What my hope is right now is that Blake Griffin drags that team down.
That's what I thought was going to happen with Harden, but I was wrong.
I
I was so wrong.
I figured Harden was gonna just come in and fucking light it up. I just had a feeling. He was like done with fucking. He was done in Houston. You know, you can just tell when people are not feeling it anymore. And he wasn't putting in any effort after they got John Wall, even though like he came out and said he was excited to play with John Wall, but he didn't show any of that enthusiasm even one time.
No, not at all. He's like, "Get me the hell out of here."
But I don't know. John Wall's looking pretty good compared to what I thought he would look like after the Achilles, and then which one happened first? And he tore it more or something while he was in his house rehabbing or something.
Oh, I remember hearing about that, but I don't know what it was.
Yeah, so he wound up being gone for like 2 full years almost or something like that.
So yeah, sports and stuff. It's weird. A year ago, it's like when all this shit got canceled and shut down. So it's like,
I was supposed to go to a Lakers game. Go to my first Lakers game.
fuck you, COVID.
Like, fuck COVID.
Some people lose their grandparents. Some people lose their basketball tickets.
That's fucked up.
That is messed up. Yep.
Yeah, man. You ever shit your pants?
Been a while, actually. Now that you mention it, it's been a while. I've learned to know which farts are dangerous. You know,
Never trust a fart.
like if you have to push it, go on a toilet. It's been a minute. What about like those like just little skid marks? Like, does that count as shit in your pants?
No, that's just normal.
That's normal.
That's how you can tell the front and the back. Brown in the back.
Technically, there's shit in your pants, so
I guess. But at least it's not diarrhea.
that's what we do on this podcast. We answer life's real questions.
Stirring the shit pot.
No, it's been a while. I can't even remember the last time I've done that. Good times.
It has happened to me more times than I'd like to admit in the last 6 months.
Like,
But
6?
to be fair, even one time is more than I'd want to admit.
Right, for real. Just by saying that, it's more times than you'd like to admit.
But it's at least happened once.
I mean, shit happens. It's life.
It is. Everybody poops.
Get over it. It happens.
It feels good though to poop.
I know. It's one of those simple pleasures.
Yeah.
I'd say it's free, but it's not because you got to get food first.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like it feels good going out, and then like makes you wonder what would feel good going in there. And it's like obviously nothing hard, but like a tongue in your asshole can feel pretty good. You just got to find that right person, like it's not for everybody.
Just got to find the right tongue.
But if you find a person that'll do that for you, you're going to have a good night.
I just feel bad for them. It's like
you got to clean it.
sacrificing.
There's definitely there's rules. Like you don't want to just leave your dingleberries in there. But
got to trim it up a little bit.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's been something I've been trying to do to aid in my digestion recently. It's like before I eat something, I'll be like, "Oh, you stupid fucking taco! You'll never amount to anything. Your parents hate you. You have no friends." So then I can turn my food into pieces of shit figuratively before I do it physically, just to try to help my innards a little bit.
Fair enough. I just take probiotics.
That'll do. Get that good bacteria all up
It's
in there.
definitely helped my butthole a lot because I was getting hemorrhoids for a long time after I had that rectal fissure, and I don't know. I started taking the probiotics and I don't get hemorrhoids as bad. They're
That's
still
good.
there, but they don't flare up like they used to, and overall my digestion has improved. So I mean that's good for me.
You're finding what's working, and that's
Yeah.
what matters.
Yeah.
You watch The Office, right?
Oh yeah.
It's like that one episode with health insurance, like rectal fissures. Who has that? Is this a real thing? And Kevin's like, someone has it. But you own that shit. That's awesome.
Spill the fucking chili, Kevin.
That is one of the saddest fucking things ever
It's a lot of chili.
in any show. And Kevin doesn't have much going for him. That's the one thing. And then he fucking spills it. And he's just panicking.
And his band. He has his band. He plays the drums.
Oh yeah, Scrantonicity. But you don't hear from them later on.
No, that was like they're just out of there at one point.
Probably got kicked out of that too.
Oh, what about? Oh, I watched It's Always Sunny the other day, and it
Good
was
show.
like they were playing like
Good show.
fucking laser tag or something, and they were just hiding from Big Mo.
Oh yeah.
He came in at the end, and it was some little fucking kid. You gotta get them dollar bills.
Yeah. I didn't like that episode, but there's some parts of it that really get me.
Overall, the episode was poor, but like something about the way Dennis kept saying, "Oh, getting all them dollar bills,"
and the like the riddles that Frank and Charlie tell
That's
each
not a
other.
riddle.
That's a joke. Why do black guys hate skydiving? Because it scares the hell out of their dogs. Like, that's not a riddle. That's a great show, man. That's something that holds up to me.
I love that show. There's so many good episodes. I think about like when the gang solves like the gas crisis or whatever, and Charlie's running around like, "Oh, it's because I cut the brake cables. Wild card, bitches."
But that's one of those shows that's like it's super polarizing. Like
Yeah.
people either love it or they hate it. They can't stand it. They
Right.
think it's stupid.
And everyone's related. Oh, you really are all related.
You really are all related. She's my sister.
And by sister, you me.
That's from the first episode, I think.
Remember Lil Kev?
Oh yeah. Of course.
That episode was funny as fuck. Oh my god.
Just there's so many good episodes of that show. But
Remember Country Mac?
of course I do. Sean William Scott appearance. Like anybody from the 90s, I think anybody from the 90s loves Sean William Scott
Yeah.
for some reason. It's just a theory I have.
If you don't, I don't know.
You're one of those lizard people then.
You're one of those lizards. You might be a redneck. You might be a green neck if you got two sets of eyes that blink like gills.
Like that one guy from Men in Black.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. You know that Elon Musk guy.
I heard of him.
What do you think about that guy?
He does his thing. I respect that. I mean,
Pretty smart.
he's a fucking billionaire. He can do whatever the hell he wants. You want to build your own space force? Go for it. I don't care.
Did you hear about all those underground tunnels that he built to like make this whole underground tunnel system?
No.
So all he had to do was get the permits to dig the holes, and then once you get far enough underground, there's no more regulations, and you can do whatever you want.
For real?
Sounds like that's pretty much how it worked.
Let's get a shovel.
Build a crazy ass fucking arcade bunker with a swimming pool filled with
hookers.
chocolate milk.
With chocolate milk. Ugh, that wouldn't last very long.
Yeah, it'd be pretty gross.
It'd
Actually,
be some chunky milk after a little bit.
chunky. Get you some pork chops and chunky. Food's so good, make you want to smack your mama.
I get your references, Bobo.
I'm glad. You know, not everyone does, but I know that there's probably a lot of people out there that would get them when they see this episode.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
It's like when we would do aliens practices, like it'd just be references left and right between the four of us, and that was a good time.
It was a good time, especially because Zach and Kyle would always play some Rush.
Yeah, they always play like Van Halen and Rush, like every practice, guaranteed.
Yes,
And they would fucking rock it.
very good time, you know, very good time.
Very nice.
I like my voices sometimes, you know. This is from the comrades.
What about if you just like switch it up, like Dos Vidania?
What the?
That's from a small Russian village outside of the normal accents.
Oh, okay.
Dostoevsky. I don't know any other Russian.
Vodka. Hey. You watch Miami Vice? #1 new show in Bratislava.
What's that from? I know that reference.
Euro Trip.
Oh, that's what it is. I know that one, but I couldn't think of it.
Fuck. What can we get with $1.38 American?
They like buy the whole town.
Happy juice.
That movie is really disappeared. Like,
Yeah. A lot of those sexual movies are like looked down upon now.
yeah. Like I asked my friend Scott the other day, like if he had ever seen it, and then Scotty didn't know what I was talking about.
I saw
Matt Damon.
they
again.
canceled Pepe Le Pew from the Space Jam 2 because
heard
of rape
about that.
culture.
I mean, he is kind of rapey.
I guess I get it, but it also kind of seems like fixing a problem that wasn't really there.
I agree with that. Like, it wasn't really necessary.
No.
Like, I get the point though. Like, you could just change his character. You
Yeah,
have
just
to
don't have him be rapey and stuff.
Exactly.
But
But
I mean, like people sexualize too many things. Like everyone's trying to sexualize children when they're like 5 and 6 now and
what's
stuff
with
like that, and like cartoons and there's all these different things. And it's like, why does sex have to be involved? Not everything is is sex.
capitalism.
But no, it's not even that. It's more about like getting people riled up, like
Yeah.
saying some polarizing. You know what I mean? Whether it's polarizing in a good or a bad way, you know, like there's all these things that they're just getting rid of now, and it's like there's just no real reason
There
for
was
it.
no purpose to canceling that out.
It's not like Pepe Le Pew was holding something down and going to town like that fucking the Rick and Morty creator video
Oh yeah, that's
with the puppet or whatever. Like I could see why people were upset about that. Like that's pretty a little fucked up.
Yeah.
But I mean Pepe Le Pew, man,
It's not like he was like waterboarding people.
he's just walking around. He's just like jumping around, smelling like shit, you know, because he's a skunk.
and trying to bang a cat all the time. That would accidentally get a white stripe down its back every episode.
It's like he's, if anything, it should cancel him because he's dumb.
Right.
He's too dumb to know. It's the same fucking thing that happens every fucking time. So now here we are poking holes in cartoons.
Yeah, we're going down a rabbit hole here.
Won't go down that fucking rabbit hole.
That's a Blink-182 reference.
Yes, it is. I saw that Blink was going to release a new album sometime this year.
Oh, for real?
So that'll be cool. I'm excited to hear like 2 or 3 good songs and some other songs with Mark's voice.
That are just kind of shit.
Maybe not even necessarily shit, but just like, you know, he could do so much better. But it's like, I want to hear the songs that they don't release. Like, if they work on like 30 or 40 fucking songs. Like, I just want to hear them, whether they're good or not. I want to hear them. I want to hear the ideas and be like, maybe I hear something like, why didn't you pick this fucking song?
Right. But yeah, like 9. There's a few good songs on it. Like the album grew on me. Like I think it's okay now.
Yeah.
I didn't like it when I first heard it, but I still bought it and I still have it.
A lot of people talk shit about like the lyrical content, like saying like that they're still like writing all like the same like immature lyrics and stuff. But then like they're getting mad because the music doesn't sound like the old immature kind of stuff they were doing. It's like, well,
That's not going to happen.
pick your fucking pick one.
Right?
You don't get to pick and choose what you like from like each era and expect that. Like they're obviously not gonna be rewriting the exact same kind of shit.
And that shit was 20 years ago.
Dude, for real. Even like the last album that they put out before they went on hiatus, the self-titled album, like was much different than anything else that they put away. And people loved that fucking album.
Yeah, that didn't have that immature like bullshit lyrics. and
Right.
Didn't have their typical style as like their experimental album that
Right.
fucking rocked.
But then Neighborhoods come out and people are like, why isn't this take off your pants and jacket?
Right? What do you expect? It has that progression. It doesn't go backwards.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. Oh well. I'm ride or die. I'll still listen to them no matter what.
Yeah. Even if I'm shitting my pants.
They have some songs about that.
They also have some songs about ejaculating in socks.
Yes, I do. I just say when you get older, don't eat 7 hot dogs on Labor Day.
That's a lot of fucking hot dogs.
Yep. Then you'll be shit in your pants. Always fucking shit in your pants. Labor Day.
Then we might not ever talk again.
Unless, no, we won't go.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. I really ain't up to much these days, you know. I'm sitting at home and do homeschooling and working and stuff like that, and put a lot of time and effort into that. And that's about it.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that too. And you're finding ways to stay busy while at home too. Like you're starting like the podcast stuff, and
Yeah.
you're still messing around with music. But yeah, you're a full-time teacher and you work full-time and you got shit going on.
Yeah. Just trying to do the right things and stay out of trouble, you know. You can't go wrong.
Except your daughter doesn't know what a parasaurolophus is, so you got to get on your game, bro.
She knows a bunch of weird things. She pays attention and she sucks things up like a sponge, man. Like you could say like a random word and maybe she'll probably remember that word next time. But she might not say it right. But she'll be like, remember that last time that you were over here and you said that one word? Is it like the parachutologist or something?
Parachutologist. If your career doesn't work out, it's a good career to fall back on. Yeah, it was. That's just my brand, though.
Yeah, that's okay though.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I make so many of those dumb jokes at work, and people hate them, but I think they secretly like them.
Yeah. I like to make stupid jokes all the time. Maybe they're only stupid to me, but that's okay.
As long as you're making yourself laugh, that's all that really matters.
That's why I tell jokes, is to make myself laugh.
Then you're doing it right.
Yeah. It's not for anybody else.
You can't control other people, what they think is funny.
Fucking thing this is. Go home and be my wife.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that to come out right there for some reason.
You
I
know
knew
the
it.
number one thing? If you don't like America, you can get out.
No, I can't.
Oh yeah, because they make you pay money, right?
Right.
Right.
It ain't cheap to move out of America.
Man. The one thing I don't get is how come all them rednecks, though, they're always getting mad at all these immigrants, you know, for coming here. And they're all like, why don't they stay in their country if it's so bad and fix it? Why they gotta come here? But then when people try to fix the country here, he's like, if you don't like it, you can get out. It's like, it's a big fucking logical fallacy, if you ask me.
Right. It's a big contradiction you're saying there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I deal with a lot of rednecks.
It sounds like it. Your impression's not too bad. Not rednecks. And I don't know if I've ever actually met a redneck that sounds like that. Not in this part of the country.
Maybe if you went West River, I've definitely.
Maybe.
My dad used to know this guy. He lived in a town called Oral, South Dakota. And this dude was a nice guy, but like one of the most unique redneck voices I'd ever heard. Like, so if you just go across the river in fucking South Dakota, like you'll notice people start talking different. Like we say battery, they say battery, stuff like that. Or like you go south, sometimes you go and like people don't wash their clothes, they wash their clothes. You know, like,
I don't like
all the weird things like that. Like you can find that just going 5 hours west in the state.
Oh, I suppose you could do that, you know.
Yeah, we're from over here in North Dakota.
We're in North Dakota and Minnesota.
Minnesota.
We don't have an accent in this part of the country.
Everyone else does.
Everyone else does.
But that's what happens when you're over here fucking your cousin.
Don't you know?
Nothing wrong with that.
Don't you know?
It's only by marriage.
Don't you know? Oh.
I just want to say, if you're out there fucking your cousin, that's okay. I'm not here to judge. I just like to joke about that shit. It's all on the table. It's all fair game to me.
Just don't tell the government.
Just don't tell the government. The government, they like to keep us comfortable, but don't like to give us too much freedom.
We like freedom, but not too much freedom.
Yeah. It's kind of like Christy Nome. She's always talking about how she's like all about like personal freedoms and stuff. And then like when a majority of South Dakota voters voted for weed to be legal, she told them that they made the wrong decision.
Yeah, it's not her decision to make. Like, even personally, like for that, I voted for the legalization of like medical, but like for recreational, I voted against it myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just because I think it can be, it's a slippery slope. Like, more addictive substances that are out there is not a good thing in my eyes. I share different opinions from people.
Sure.
But then when she turned around and was like, hey, I'm going to use taxpayer money to overturn this, I'm like, no, people voted for it to be passed, so it should be passed.
Right.
Like, even if I didn't vote for it, doesn't matter. Like, everyone else did. And so
Exactly.
we have to respect that. You can't just be like, oh, it can't be part of the South. It contradicts a part of the South Dakota Constitution. So I'm going to throw taxpayer dollars at it to make it not exist anymore, to overturn it. And I'm like, that's bullshit. That should be passed because it was voted on.
Absolutely.
And it was passed.
That's
Yeah.
what it comes down to, you know, is like personal freedoms. I don't feel like if you believe in personal freedoms, I don't think you get to pick and choose. Like, you either believe in them or you don't.
Exactly. Just because one doesn't follow your agenda or
Right.
make your family money.
Just because you disagree with some, I look at things from a libertarian standpoint. If there's no victim, there's no crime. If you're not hurting someone or affecting somebody's life negatively or affecting their quality of life or preventing them from doing what they want to do, I don't think that you've done anything wrong. Like, if you're a person that's like sitting at home smoking weed, like, you're not hurting anyone, you're not out driving, and you're not, I don't think you're doing anything wrong.
For real. And
Like,
if you're cool with it and cool with your life, do you, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of like fucking successful people that fucking smoke weed. You know what I mean? Like, it's just about whether or not you let that control your life or not. You know what I mean? There's lots of people that do. I mean, I definitely had a point in my life where I was constantly high all day, every day.
I don't remember that, Bobo.
Then I had a kid and I kind of realized what was more important, you know?
Yeah.
And
You got your priorities kind of straight and put in check.
that being said, if weed was legal, I would probably smoke a lot of weed. I think that it helps a lot of people in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone. I think everyone should try it, but like, if it's not, I think you would know real quick if it wasn't for you. I've got a lot of friends that have tried it and didn't like it, and but then you have all these people out here say, "Oh, you get addicted the first time."
I don't know about that,
like,
but
well, even like marijuana, the science that I've seen is it's not necessarily physically addictive. It is very mentally addictive, that sometimes turn into your mentally you make it physically addictive. Like it's in your head, but like it can cause problems in your body.
yeah, no, like, because it is mentally addictive for sure, because it still plays on the same part of the brain that enforces drug seeking behavior.
Okay.
Like, it's called the VTA, or the ventral tegmental area. And so like, it still does fire that part of the brain, which leads to like addiction, because it releases more dopamine than normal things do. So you want to repeat doing that. You want to keep doing that. So it does have that mentally addictive component. That being said, it can also have physically addictive components too, because the main receptor that THC plays on is like the cannabinoid receptors that are located in so many different areas of the brain. That's why it's like different strains, you get different effects, because it plays on different parts of the brain.
Right.
So depending on like how dependent, like how much that part of the brain has been exposed to that that cannabinoid, can cause some physical withdrawals based on that. But it's different just because of all the different strains out there and all that stuff.
I guess I've never known anyone that ever had any physical like withdrawals or anything when they didn't smoke weed.
I mean, some of them are a lot more minor. Like, some people get sweats. Some people kind of have insomnia where they struggle to sleep.
Oh, sure.
But it's not near as severe like opiates or like alcohol or
Right.
anything like that at all.
That makes sense. I mean, everybody's body is different. So, I mean, the nature
For
of
real.
even like weed being a natural thing, like it's a chemical. At the end of the day, like every single thing has a chemical building block. So the way that affects your body is different than it could affect mine. Maybe it's the same, but I mean, there's so many different things that can affect your body differently. I mean, look at all the different food allergies and stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Agreed.
some people can't eat shrimp or they die. I mean, some guy came in the other day and told me that he was allergic to meat. And I was like, well, what are you allergic to in meat? And he's like, just meat. It's like, well,
you might have trouble like digesting it. Well, I'm
Yeah.
not going to try to judge that dude for his thing.
well,
But
I do
I'm just
judge
trying to
people
think
with
about the science
allergies that
behind
don't know enough about their allergy. Like if you have an allergy that's that bad enough that you are telling me that you will die, then you need to know about it. And you
For
need to
real.
know, you need to be able to tell restaurants what you need and what you can have. Like you shouldn't just be able going everywhere and you just happen to not know anything about this thing that's super serious in your life. There's a lot of people that just don't like things. And it's like, if you don't like it, you can just tell people you don't like it and don't put it on there. You know, I mean, that's fine. But I don't like people that lie about food allergies.
Yeah, just to try to make it seem like it's a bigger deal than
Right.
it actually is.
Or like the gluten thing. Like I know that there's a lot of people gluten sensitive. Like I know that's a real thing, and more and more and more like it's happening because of like genetically modified foods and things like that.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of people that do it to be trendy. They're not gluten free. They just want to eat gluten free, but they tell you that they might have like celiac or that they can die from gluten, and it's like, oh, but they don't know anything about any of that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there are those people out there that can die from that kind of stuff. And
Yes.
if I was like that, I'd be scared to go out to eat anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Because with restaurants, you don't know who's handling your food or
Absolutely.
what's going on.
We've worked in restaurants. I still do.
Yeah.
I know
Right?
I've seen things that would make people never go to a restaurant ever again.
And that's a world a lot of people don't know either. It's like, working in kitchens and restaurants for 10 years. I know what it's like. I know, like, I would say pretty much everybody is responsible, like with food and how they handle food, but you can never guarantee it.
Right. Most of the people that I've worked with, like if you were to go like percentage wise, most of the people that I've worked with have been good with their food and stuff. But I've definitely worked with people that did not give a fuck. And I've definitely worked in restaurants where in retrospect, I realize now that some of that shit would have been shut down immediately.
Right.
Disgusting shit, like leaving food inside of like metal cans and just wrapping them in plastic, like that can cause botulism. I mean, that can kill you.
Yeah.
Like that's gross shit, man.
But yeah, there's those people that take a lot of pride in that craft, and I'm sure you're one of those.
Yeah.
And like I'd say majority of the people actually care about what the product they're putting out, but you always have those bad eggs.
Right. Thing about restaurant work is like it's a shitty job, so a lot of people have a shitty mindset about it. But it really is what you make it.
It is. It really is.
Anyone can find the shitty in any situation, but like if you can find the good in a shitty situation, you're going to be 10 steps ahead of everyone.
Agreed. And if you make that your focal point rather than the shitty things, you're going to make your life a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
No matter what you're doing. I've learned that myself. I used to be one of those kitchen workers that's like, I was good at my job, but after a while, I would just start to fucking hate it by just focusing on all the bad things,
Right.
which would make a good situation look shitty.
Right.
And when it was really a good situation, but
the nice thing about that is you were able to find something outside the industry.
mm-hmm.
So there's so many people that can never get out.
Oh, agreed. And I mean, I was fortunate enough that I did shift my mindset. Like once I did find that new career path,
Sure.
like working in hospitals and mental health and stuff like that, once I started doing that, I was able to shift from focusing on negatives to focusing on positives.
Sure.
Getting sober didn't hurt either.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big part of it too. But yeah, because you're going to find shitty things no matter what you're doing. Even if you have the greatest job on earth, you're going to find things that suck.
Absolutely.
It's just, it takes time and it takes work to shift your perspective on those things.
Repetition, as with anything.
Yeah. Like it's one thing to be able to point it out, but to actually believe it is something that takes, you can plant the seed, but it has to grow.
No, fuck the seed.
40-year-old virgin reference
See,
now.
and now we're talking about sex again. See what they have fucking shit turned us all into.
That's life. That's just kind of what we grew up seeing, and it's just how people think too.
How many times must I bang your mom before you realize we got something special?
Motherfucker.
How many times must I bang your mom before you realize I'ma be your new dad?
That's an old reference. That's okay. I don't think majority of people who are gonna see this know what that.
But there will be a handful of people that are gonna laugh really hard at that, and that's what that was for.
Right.
That was for you.
For you,
Cleveland, this is for you.
Anything is possible.
Oh my god, that's funny to me.
Oh, it's like those things like you hear and it's like I totally forgot that existed until you just brought that up. Like it's been over a decade since I heard that thing, and when I did hear it was only for like 4 or 5 times, and it's just like for a week and then it's gone. You just sparked something in my brain, Bobo.
Everything is all still in there. It's just whether or not you think about it again.
How is it
random
still in
access memory?
I can't remember the shit I actually need to remember, but that's still in there. Oh, why does the brain do that, man?
Just likes to fuck with you.
I can't remember to do my damn taxes, but I can remember how many times must I bang your mom.
Yeah, you could just not do your taxes.
I could, but I'll actually get a decent tax return. So
Fair enough.
I pay for school out of pocket, so that's kind of nice.
Oh, sure.
So I'd be cheating myself if I didn't do my taxes.
Technically, you cheat yourself when we give the government interest-free loans on our money for a whole year.
Yeah,
but
I agree. I think
I do still like getting that extra money back in one lump sum. It's helpful for me. But who knows? Like if it wasn't getting taken in the first place, who knows how much more helpful that would be over the course of the year?
You wouldn't even notice it though.
Probably
that's
not.
the thing, because you'll adjust what you spend to what you make.
Right.
Like, that's a typical thing. Like even if you cut things out of your budget, it's super easy just to add something to it too. If you get $2 more an hour, it's easy to maybe get a massage once a week or whatever the hell you want to do with that extra money, because it's easy to fill that and be like, oh, I need more money. But when really you're just adding to what you have.
Right. No, that actually makes a lot of sense, because I've not specifically like massages or anything, but like as like I got a pretty good paying job right now, you know, and like when I first started making more money, like I definitely felt more frivolous, you know, like
oh yeah, it definitely gives you a little less stress and you can buy more things.
Yeah.
For things you want to do.
But I also could have been setting that extra money aside.
Easier said than
Although
done.
at the time when I first started making good money at my job, we were still we were getting garnished because of all my heart attack bills and stuff. And like that happened when I was making like $12,000 a year, and they told me I was making too much for financial assistance. It's funny how that works. I work 20 hours a week in restaurants at like $9 an hour, and I make too much money for help. We got families out there that were like getting fucking help and shit.
Right. Well, yeah, my fiance, she worked in that business for a little while, and
oh sure,
there's actually some really strict requirements on getting like state benefits
right.
and things like that. There's unless you have like a kid under a certain age, it's hard to get it. Just
it's
from
weird.
Her talking about her job and things like that.
Right. And then you always hear people talking about the fraud and stuff that happens in there. And like realistically, the fraud that happens really isn't that as much as you would think. The most fraud the fraud that I personally know about is like you got people that sell their food stamps and shit all the time for drugs and stuff like that. Like that's the kind of fraud that is more common than anything else.
And they still kind of monitor that stuff too. Like they'll catch you on that.
Well, a lot of things that specifically I've heard of people in Sioux Falls, what they do is they'll like take the food stamp card and they'll give it to a person and say, hey, go get the groceries you need or whatever, and then come back and give me money. Like people like 2 for 1, like $2 for every dollar. Like if you give someone $50, they'll give you like $100 worth of groceries and stuff. And apparently that's like a real common thing to fucking happen like amongst like the poor community in town.
I could see it, yeah. But Yeah. All the real welfare fraud is up on the top.
Oh, well, yeah, corporate welfare. That's funny. People don't like think about that. Like, so like all, not to mention all the corporate socialism, all the
Yeah.
socialist programs that have been in effect since like let's see. So FDR put in all those 3-letter agencies. Like most of those are all socialist programs.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
nobody wants to talk about that. They just want to fucking they.
They shift the blame to the things that are right in front of them
Oh,
rather
yeah.
than the things that are actually kind of happening.
Anything
out of
they can
scope
do
of
can
sight.
keep the poor people arguing amongst themselves.
Yep. It's a tactic.
The
I
fix
agree
is
with that,
already
too.
in.
Yeah. It's like we know where the problem is, but we can't change it, which sucks. Like I don't know how to change it. I vote, but that doesn't do shit. Keep voting. Keep voting, but still.
Corruption is rampant, and I think that people are starting to kind of see that. Like, I'm not saying that everyone should be libertarians, but like over the last election, we had a lot of growth and a lot of people that were starting to realize that like the 2-party system can't fix the problems that it created. And
Agreed.
I'm not saying that I have the answer. I just don't think Republicans and Democrats can fix the problems that they've been watering the seeds that they sowed for years. All these, like Donald Trump, everyone was worried about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, while a problem and a piece of shit, was not he was a symptom of the system. Like we just kept having worse and worse presidents, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like a lot of people think Barack Obama was good, and like he might have done a lot of good things like in public, but like that dude before Donald Trump, he killed more brown people in foreign countries than anyone. More than anyone. He was killing kids like every 30 seconds or something
Yeah.
like that.
It's just a machine at this point. Like they're just pieces of it.
Yeah.
And
Like they're all part of it. Like I just don't see how they can fix the problem with more of the problem.
it's easy to blame a face rather than blame a country that you care about and believe in.
Right.
Like I don't like our government, but I like our country. Like I'm proud to be an American. At
Right.
least I know I'm free.
I wouldn't really want to. I can't think of another country that I would probably want to live in because, like, the freedoms that you have here, like, even though like a lot of people call them like illusions of freedoms, like, I can play video games and surf the internet and use cell phones and stuff, and I
Right.
don't got to worry about the cartel trying to extort me and shit. It's just the government that's usually extorting people.
Right. But I mean, it's easier to blame a face like a president rather than blaming the system in the country that you are a part of.
Right.
It's like it shifts that a little bit. At least you can say it's like, oh, I didn't vote for them.
Well, yeah, if
That
they put
wasn't
that
me.
blame on the face, then they attack anyone who ever says anything bad about America. It's like we're not necessarily saying bad things about America. We're just calling out fucking obvious black eyes and stuff. And
Right.
it's unfortunate that so many people refuse to even critique America. It's like if you believe in something, you want it to do better. Like we're not all fucking driving Model Ts and fucking separating fucking fabric with a cotton gin. You know what I mean? Like things evolve over time. You get better technology and stuff. I know a lot of these fucking same people that want everything to be like it was back in the 50s and 60s. They're driving nice ass fucking trucks, driving nice ass motorcycles and nice ass cars. They love all these different things, you know, but they'd say everything needs to be back like it was in the 50s. It's like y'all be mowing your lawn with a push fucking razor blade mower. And
Those things are tough, by the way.
yeah, they make new age ones and stuff. They're more like environmentally friendly or whatever, but they're fucking pain in the ass. I pushed one around and I was like, I wouldn't want to mow my whole lawn with that. Fuck no.
It's weird how that shit kind of evolves over time and people's perspective on it.
Yeah.
I think it's just part of that kind of dissonance concept too, of finding ways to not put that blame squarely on yourself, or like you might not like the time, so it's easy to think, oh, I'd rather live in another time just to kind of avoid it. But
there's always going to be problems though. Like,
always.
I think the nice thing about getting older is when you're able to be content with the dysfunction, like knowing that there's not really anything that you can do to prevent the overall randomness of the world, if you will. Like you can only control what you can control, and that's it. When you get start stressing out trying to control what everyone else is doing, like all the people that want to like ban like gay marriages and trans people and stuff like that. Is like they're not hurting anyone, just leave them the fuck alone. Like, we can't let them get married. It was like, why are they inviting you to their wedding? Are they forcing you to come to their wedding and
How
stuff?
does that affect your life? Why do you care?
It doesn't. Just a lot of people just want to shit on things that are different than them, and like they reclaim the religious freedom and stuff. With like, that book that you people are always quoting says a lot of things about treating people with kindness, no matter what, and not judging. And it bothers me how many people don't live that. Like, I don't claim to be a Christian, but I think that people that do should live that.
And I would say vast majority of people do too. They do live that, and they do kind of are in that concept of you do you, I'll do me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do what I care about and what I think is right, but you have the right to do what you want to do.
Absolutely.
I would say vast majority of people don't put that down other people's throats, and they actually do practice that. But there's always going to be those bad eggs.
Right.
Hitler. No.
He was pretty bad.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it's hard to.
You got people like Joel Osteen. They fucking have super mega church and didn't let anyone in during the floods, but they're supposedly humanitarians and caring about people and stuff. And
that's just part of that corrupt culture of anything, like those bad people in high places sort of thing.
And don't mean to ever come off like I hate religion or anything like that. I've got lots of religious friends that are very respectful individuals and respectful of others' beliefs. I love the shit out of those people. They're amazing people. But anyone who can't just let someone be themselves and they got to feel the need to like start shit when nothing needs to be started, then that person has other problems too.
Agreed.
And it's not even related to their religion. It's just putting their religion on that pedestal, like if you treat people with kindness and respect, I think you're fucking 10 steps ahead of most people,
Agreed.
Maybe not most people. I don't mean to generalize people as individuals, but you get it.
I get you. I know you, Bobo. But yeah, it's easy to kind of focus on those things. I don't know why, but it is. It seems to be a common thing too. It's just the brain tends to go to that.
Right.
Distraction, whatever it is. I don't know.
It's a nice thing about music, though.
Yeah.
Music's a hell of a distraction away from other things. Stop worrying about some of those things that are bothering you in life. And fuck, man, there's a lot of things that people do that bother me, but I'm like, they're not affecting my life, so I'm not going to let it bother me.
And you have that power. It's like once you realize that you can only control what you can, by giving up that power, you actually get so much like power back.
Right.
Because then like, oh, I can do this. I can control this. I can shut out these thoughts. I can not think about those people I hate all the time. It's nice.
That emotion is also really shitty too, is just hate. Like, but we all have people we hate. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to hate them, but there's people that have done things in life. I think probably to everyone has at least one person that they probably hate.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's something I've been working on too, like identifying those people from the past that at one point I really did truly hate.
Sure.
And just being kind of aware of where my mind's at. And being like, yeah, that's their problem.
Right.
I wish them the best, no matter who it is. Thinking of one person specifically.
Are we thinking of the same person?
Probably. But yeah, I honestly, no ill will towards them. I wish them the best. I hope they're doing good, but just stay the fuck away from me.
Right. Me too. I'm pretty accepting of a lot of shit, but they're the one kind of people though that will never give credit to for trying to do better is pedophiles. Because if you've ever done something like that, I think there's only one cure for you.
Yeah, that's a tough thing,
right?
Because it's in your brain, like
right.
It's a mental thing,
and at that point, it's affected at another child.
Exactly, and when it's like you said earlier, when it starts to infringe on other people and impact other people, that's when I think it's not okay.
Right, and now you got all these people that are trying to talk about like ageism and stuff, and saying like age is just a number, and love is love, man. And it's like, fuck that.
There's a line there.
This is not 1800s England when it was okay to bang 12-year-old girls and shit that were your cousin.
That were your cousin on top of it. Yeah.
Marrying family members was not uncommon.
Look how it turned out for the Targaryens.
Look at the royal family over there in England. All this shit going on.
Yeah, there's just those certain things that just aren't cool.
The non-negotiables.
Yeah, exactly. There's always those things.
Rapists, murderers, and pedophiles.
Yeah.
There may be some other random categories in there, but those are the ones that I'm thinking of right now.
That first come to mind. Because like you said, like it comes down, you're impacting someone else's life in a very negative way.
Absolutely.
And who knows the ripple effect that would have coming out of that. Like what happened, like what that person would do down the line to help manage and deal with that trauma or whatever that is.
Or what that person could have gone on to become if they didn't have that shit happen to them.
Right.
Bad. I've actually got several friends that I've like found out later on in life had like some type of an encounter like that when they were like young. And
it's weird. It's more common than people realize.
Dude, for real. Like people that I would, not that you would ever expect anyone, but like sometimes like when certain people tell you those things, like the first thought you had is like, I would have never expected that from you. But a lot of that is just like people that you know more on a personal level. Like when you find out something like that you didn't know for like years, it's like, how did I not know this? Like I thought I knew you, bro.
It's one of those things that it's just people don't talk about it,
right?
Because it comes down to that topic of shame. Like shame is what makes us not want to expose parts of ourselves to other people through fear of like rejection and not being accepted for like who we are as people. So like those traumatic instances like sexual abuse or childhood abuse, whatever that is, a lot of times that can be rooted in the thought of like, well, what was wrong with me? Why did this happen to me? I don't want to tell people because then they're going to think of me differently. They're going to pity me, whatever that may be. And so just with that shame and that stigma associated with it, people don't like to talk about it. I mean, and even the fact that they don't want to relive it either too is, I think, important. But
absolutely.
Because like working in like mental health and substance abuse, like trauma is such a common theme in all that stuff. So
probably one of the number one causes of people becoming addicts, I would guess.
Yeah.
Some type of trauma.
It's very common for people to want to escape or turn off their mind or not have to think about that stuff or not have to feel anything. So going to like alcohol or drugs is an easy way to do that.
Right.
It's a quick fix. It works to turn it off in the short term, but as time goes on, more problems build up and that problem never is actually fixed or gone away. So it just snowballs to
unhealthy coping mechanisms.
Exactly. That's like the name of the game with that shit.
It's no bueno.
God knows I did it.
I mean, I definitely had a rough point in my life for a while. I'm glad I'm still here.
Yeah, me too, man.
Got another chance to try and do better. You know, that's cool.
There's sometimes I think it's like, God, Bobo's come a long way. Like if you met yourself 10 years ago, I wonder how that conversation would go.
Be weird.
Yeah.
Be really weird. Like, hey, dude, you're about to have a heart attack. Stop fucking drinking.
Don't drive your car at this time.
Stop drinking.
It just reminded me of that scene from like Billy Madison where that kid's like, what's high school like? I wish I could go to high school. And then he just scratches it. Don't say that. Just doing that to yourself 10 years ago.
Dude, for real. I don't know, man. Drinking only brings problems to my life. Like even when I'm not drinking, like all the shit that happened with my neighbor, you know, and like it seems like just there's a fucking bunch of shit over like the last couple of years, you know, like it just complicated because of people drinking and being involved in my life, just being belligerently drunk. And it doesn't matter whether it's you're the person who's drinking or not, because even when you're sober and those things are fucking affecting you, it's like just drinking is still bringing shit to my life.
Yeah.
I actually drank one beer the other day at Harley's house. I hadn't drank a beer in like over a year, and I was like, fuck it, I'll drink a beer. I drank a fucking Bud Light Lime, and like afterwards I was like, that didn't do anything for me, and I don't feel the need to drink again. Like, I don't know. It's gross. The problem with drinking is like once you get to a certain point, you just want more. Like once, and for some people that's one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've got a lot of friends that are big reasons why I don't drink anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's like, once again, like we talked about earlier, priorities have kind of shifted from wanting to get like fucked up to kind of taking care of your family. And
Right.
you kind of realize that shit can't be in the picture to do what you want to do.
Right. I know lots of people that drink periodically or even like regularly, and you know, I mean, they seem to live like okay lives. I'm not saying that people can't.
Same.
You know, I mean, fuck, I know people that have been doing meth their whole life and that are fucking productive members of society and shit. Not saying I condone that,
right,
but they're not hurting anyone. I'm not gonna, they don't bother me. But like, I don't know, man. Just drinking, I think, is like one of just the worst ones overall. So many things that you might not be willing to do, you're willing to do when you're drinking.
And I think a big part of it too is just how socially acceptable it is. Like in Midwestern culture, especially, like everything is kind of surrounded by drinking, like family get-togethers, hanging out with friends.
Should we grab a beer for the road? Have a beer on the way home?
Right.
Like have it. Well, we just drink 12 beers here. Now I'm going to drink another beer on the way home while I'm driving. Like, and these are like the same. A lot of these same people are the Law and Order party people. You know, always talking about Law and Order, but they're the same people that you're going to find with an open container in their car.
But yeah, I mean, that's one of the things. Like, yeah, you do you. Like, I'm not telling people not to drink but just can sneak up on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. For reals.
Yeah.
And then you can probably have it and not have any problems in your life. It's a common thing to have it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just, it's always good to know what's going on in your life and paying attention to what you're doing and how things are going to affect you.
Yeah.
Obviously, like drinking and drugs is just one of those things that everyone feels a different way about them, you know?
Yep.
It'd be nice if we could get more people to agree on things. Like,
yeah,
I wish more things were decriminalized. There's so much. They spend so much time locking people up and like ruining families and shit and like putting people in a system that they can never get out of because they fucked up that one time, but now they're fucking stuck doing 24/7 that they can't afford, that they can't afford to go get a car or get insurance on that car because they're paying 3 times a day or 2 times a day to go blow, you know, and like spending thousands of dollars each year on that. But like they talk about wanting to rehabilitate people and get them back into the community, but the court system works so hard against that.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have anyone's interests in mind other than creating revenue to keep the court system going.
And then you slap someone with like a felony and they struggle to find housing and all these kind of things too.
Absolutely.
So it's like the system's definitely broken.
I did see the South Dakota legislature introduced a decriminalizing bill. Actually, they passed it through the Senate, and how it would work was it was just for weed, but I think it might have been for other stuff. It might have been some other stuff being talked about, but specifically for weed, they were talking about how it would be okay decriminalized for up to 1 ounce of weed and up to 8 grams of concentrate on your personal or whatever. And then like all that would happen is they would just take it or whatever. Like it'd still be like illegal, but they're not going to take you to jail for it.
They're not going to charge you and make you go to court and get all these fees racked up against you and charge you with significant jail time that you have to pay to be in jail.
Yeah.
But
I think that's a hell of a step to do it.
I think that's a big step in kind of the right direction.
Yeah.
Because growing up in the 90s, we know the war on drugs, it didn't work.
You know,
it made people a lot of money, but that's...
Well, I just remember they were always talking about how many people were just waiting around the corner to give you free drugs. Like, where the fuck were those people? I didn't meet any of these people.
Nope.
I had to pay for everything I did. Dare. I got kicked out of Dare.
Really?
You're not allowed to commit. They apparently, like, if you commit a crime when you're in Dare, you're breaking your signed agreement when you sign that book at the beginning of the class.
How old are you? 10?
I was fucking 10. And I got caught stealing fucking football cards from Shopco. And I got kicked out and didn't get to
You're out.
graduate and didn't get my shirt, didn't get to have my shirt signed with all my friends and stuff like that. And I was like, you guys really taught me a fucking lesson.
Don't steal. They put you on a path of crime from that.
Look, they turned me into a criminal.
You're a criminal. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't gotta say a word. I'm just flipping the bird.
Okay, we're good. We're in the time limit. We're good.
Oh yeah.
Talk about M's.
M&M's.
Skittles are
some.
better. Starburst jelly beans. Those are where it's at.
What about berries and cream Starbursts? Do you remember those with the little elf?
No.
It's like, excuse me.
Oh shit! With the little like dancing out. That guy was
Berries and
weird.
cream, berries and cream. I'm a little man that likes berries and cream.
Those 2000s commercials, man. Those will fuck with your head.
Those guys were doing drugs.
Yeah. Like those old Spice commercials. Like, what the fuck were those?
Oh man. All those weird Terry Crews ones where his body's like chipping away and like getting more buff and shit.
That's crazy. I don't know why, but it made me want to use Old Spice more.
Man,
It was working.
I could turn into what the fuck was Terry Crews' character in fucking The Longest Yard?
Cheeseburger Eddie.
Cheeseburger Eddie. I got the burgers.
It ain't easy being cheesy.
Goddamn.
Goddamn.
Sticks the fucking cheeseburger in the dude's cup.
Like a fucking bribe.
Oh,
man.
man.
I loved that movie, man.
That was a good one. Adam Sandler did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Burt Reynolds was in there too.
He was. R.I.P. Bert.
Oh, he is dead, right?
I don't know. I think so.
I can't remember. Like, sometimes you don't think about some of those old people and stuff.
I
Like,
think he did
like
die.
somehow Betty White's still fucking alive.
Yeah,
you
she's
know,
around.
but like we've lost everybody else from A to Z.
I think I want to start a petition to put Betty White on the golden dollar because then she'd be a golden girl. You know?
Oh, okay.
Forever.
I like that. I got some of those Sacagawea golden dollars.
Like, those came out in like 2000, right?
Yeah.
Are they still around?
I got some of them for sure. What else?
I have a few of them.
There's
too,
like
I
some
remember.
Thomas Jefferson golden dollars. There's a couple silver dollars.
I got a couple because like on the 50-cent piece they have JFK.
Yeah.
I got a few Ben Franklin 50-cent pieces from like before they did
Oh,
put JFK on them.
Yeah,
Some old coins.
for real. And apparently, there's like some penny that you can find from like before like 1914 or something like that. That's worth like $1,300 or something.
I'll keep an eye out.
I don't know if that was it or some coin from like a lot like before some special kind of coin. I don't know if it was like a misprint or if it just they didn't make them very long or there's just been so long since they made them that there's not that many of them.
I don't get coin collections. They just don't make any sense to me.
What the fuck?
If we do go on a petition to put people on money, let's put Curtis Jackson on the 50-cent piece moving forward.
Oh, okay. I thought they're going to do Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill or something. And get rid of Andrew Jackson.
I'm cool with that.
Or
it's Jackson.
Yeah, it is Andrew Jackson.
Dude got shot like 12 times. He was like the 50 Cent of his time.
Was he the guy that got shot by Aaron Burr?
No, that's Alexander Hamilton.
Okay,
You know Alexander Hamilton?
on the $10 bill.
Yeah, he is. I dig that musical, by the way, Hamilton. That's my jam. Oh, man. So I went in a YouTube hole the other day, which is crazy. And do you know the game Animal Crossing?
Sure, I'm aware of its existence.
So someone redid Hamilton, like the musical, in Animal Crossing. So like they redid rooms in Animal Crossing and stuff like that and recreated the scenes based off of like reacts and stuff like that and just had the musical playing on top of it. And it was actually really good. I sat and watched it for an hour and a half before bed. And I'm like, this is fucking good. Props to this person who probably spent thousands of hours on this one project.
Damn.
God, it's like some people, man.
Some people's kids, man.
The internet.
Someone made a joke the other day that the SPK should change the name to some people's dads, but only two of us are technically dads. So
Maybe give it a couple years, because you'll always be some people's kids.
right. Such a cool band name.
I
It
dig
just
it.
rolls off the tongue. Like
It really does.
When we first thought of it, like I was like, oh man, this is gonna be the one.
That used to be like a big saying too. People don't say it as much anymore, but
I feel like people used to say it all the time, and that was what like why it popped into my head. I was like, people say that shit all the time. Could change the band to some people's stids.
why Stitz?
Because just like
Oh, like
herpes, we're
S-
about to pop.
Oh, gross.
Just kidding.
STDs. I get it now. It took me a second.
We changed the initials of SVK to HPV or something.
Ugh. At least your songs would be pretty catchy.
Ugh. That's fucked up.
That is kind of fucked up.
Someone's gonna be upset about that.
Something on kind of a similar topic. Dave Chappelle has ruined my brain because I cooked bacon the other day, and like when I was pulling the bacon out, there's a lot of grease in it, and I just kept thinking about gonorrhea because it's like the VD
I'm
gang,
gonorrhea, and that's a
a
fact.
I cook up lovers just like bacon fat, and I'm like, they kept popping in my head, and I'm like, what is wrong with me?
It's the VD gang.
The VD gang.
The VD gang.
Hey, we got like a backdrop that's just kind of like that too.
What about the puppet that found the fucking syringe and he's like, "Oh, I'm fucking dying, man."
I'm fucking dying, man. Throw away your trash. And then he throws it.
Throw away your trash. Who the hell threw this in my can?
Oh man.
What you don't understand is I make love to my hand, so I don't need you, honey. Beat my dick like it owes me money. And that's why
I say
fuck it.
fuck it. Classic. Man. Classic. It'd be cool if we could get some graffiti up on here.
We'll figure it out. Maybe I could do that post. Put something up there.
What am I drawing?
Penis?
Oh my god, you're a magician.
Just like everything's sexual. We've all been conditioned.
Oh, that's
This
funny.
is the Matrix.
00100 penis. You found it out. They're rejecting you out. This podcast never happened.
It was like an episode of WandaVision.
Spoiler alert!
Nah, that won't be enough to make it
No.
even know anything.
No, they ain't gonna know shit. That show fucks with your head a little bit at times. Like it throws you off. But
I'm excited to finish the last few episodes.
I won't say anything.
I was also really excited they released they released on the 18th the Snyder cut of the DC Justice League movie.
I'm looking forward to that, man.
The preview looked pretty badass. Not that I saw the first movie, but everyone said that this is the version of DC.
I'd watch the first one. It was entertaining. Like the main villain was shitty, but it was entertaining. I'm excited. Like I was stoked when they said that Godzilla vs. Kong is going to drop on HBO.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that.
I've always been a big fan of Godzilla movies.
Same.
Gojira. It sounds like they're saying Gojira. Maybe do you think that like that's where they got the inspiration for that metal band Gojira? It was like
Probably.
some Japanese guys said Godzilla.
Yeah. I mean, Gojira is like I think how it was initially like pronounced.
Okay.
So
You watch that show Cobra Kai?
No.
It was pretty
No.
good. I liked it.
I've heard a few people say that.
It was interesting.
I give it a shot.
I became very invested very quick, and then watched like all 3 seasons in less than a week.
Is Mr. Miyagi in it?
There's like flashbacks.
Not interested.
He's been dead since 2006.
That's my point. Is there a hologram of him? He's the best part of the Karate Kid movie to me.
I thought everything was pretty tastefully done. Like all the random people that they brought in on the episodes and stuff, and the main characters that were part of this new series and stuff. I really liked it. Now I just can't wait for season 4.
That'll happen.
And season 3 just came out in January, so I got
You
a
got a
while
while.
to wait.
It's like the Mandalorian.
Fuck, man. At least we'll get a couple of shows. We'll get like the Loki show and Captain, or was like the Falcon and
Winter Soldier.
yeah. What else? There was
Well,
one
like the
more.
Boba Fett. Well, I don't know when those other they announced like 6 Star Wars shows coming out.
I'm excited for the Obi-Wan show.
Me too.
Should be the best one
I think so.
because they got Hayden Christensen to be involved.
I hear he hates sand.
That's what happens when you're on the lower ground. You get burned up.
You get burnt.
Like a Pop-Tart that was past its prime.
Pop Tart that got stuck in the
Oh,
toaster
yeah.
oven.
Tart Vader.
What the hell, man?
It's bad.
That was bad. It was so bad. It was good.
Well, I mean, you guys, anything else you want to randomly talk about?
No, I think we covered a lot of pretty good random
These
topics.
usually go about 2 hours. So, I mean, like I noticed, like if we start getting to a point where we can't start thinking of things, I usually cut the episode kind of around that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This will all get cut out and stuff too, and I'll put something in at the end. But
No, I think that should probably be pretty good. We're right about at that 2-hour spot how it is.
yeah,
I got to go do a few things tonight anyway. So
cool.
I feel like, the flowy conversation like the whole way through.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. So I guess on that note, I'm gonna hit you with some links for Dylan's new band, the Shapeshifter, at the end of all this. Some links to their social medias, and then I don't know. I guess we'll just go from there, and you guys will have to wait for episode 4. Hope you enjoyed the new logo. My friend Brent Plooster made that and put a lot of time and effort into it, and he really just knocked it out of the park. I think it really captures me in cartoon form very well.
It definitely does.
Episode 4 should be coming to you real soon. I think my guest will be my friend Nathan Jones, and I believe we're going to be doing that on the 19th, the day before our Libertarian convention, where we're voting on a new XCOM members, a new chair, and then I think there's a bylaw proposal that we voted on last year, but there was some type of technical snafu that was not entered into the record or something, if I remember right. So it has to get approved officially this time. I think that's what this was. Anyway, if anyone's interested in Libertarians, we got our convention on the 20th. I will put up a real cool graphic for that too. And I guess we'll see you next time.
Very cool.
Peace out, peeps.
See ya.